morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Global Atheist News Roundup, dateline at 18th of January 2025. Firstly, I feel I must give an explanation for the remit of Global Atheist News, GAN for short. It's come to my attention that some viewers do not understand the principle of objective journalism. They think that the items in these shows are positions that I support. Maybe they've been watching too much Fox News, where there is no discernible dividing line between information and opinion. That is not news. That is propaganda. For GAN, I attempt to report what's happened in an unbiased way. I'm following the honourable tradition of the BBC, which is trusted, rightly, worldwide. It's not always easy to keep a straight face when delivering news which I do not support, or which is ludicrously funny. Please accept my apologies for when my demeanour cracks. If you want opinions, we have a spin-off show, Views on the News, featuring a panel of wise and witty commentators from around the world that we make every Sunday. This week, world news is full of secular items. The peace agreement in Israel, Trump's inauguration and intention to annex Greenland, the prospects for the Ukrainian war in 2025, etc. Religious news has been rather squeezed out, so we don't have many items. But here are this week's headlines. A Pakistani Imam in Italy gave a sermon saying that every Muslim should fight the infidels or face catastrophic consequences. There is an abuse terror warning as a Satanist teenager is jailed in the UK. The National Secular Society urged the investigation of Church of England evangelism at non-religious schools. A French church calls for a judicial investigation into Abbé Pierre following new sex abuse allegations. And is there a Hindu renaissance in Andhra? Here is the news in detail, the atheist news in detail. A Pakistani Imam in Italy gave a sermon saying that every Muslim should fight the infidels or face catastrophic consequences. The next day, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni personally requested that he should be deported. He had lived in Italy for 30 years. Pardon the intrusion of our cat. He's lovely, isn't he? But he's stolen his tail. Look. It doesn't belong to him, does it? Carrying on. A teenager involved in what police have described as a Satanist terror network targeted children online for sexual blackmail and violence has been jailed for 6 years at the Old Bailey. Cameron Finnegan pleaded guilty to encouraging suicide, possessing a tourism manual, and showing indecent images of a child. The court heard the 19-year-old from Horsham in West Sussex was part of an extreme right-wing Satanist group called 764, which anti-terror police warn poses an immense threat. At least 4 British teenagers have been arrested in connection with the activities of the group, which has blackmailed children, mainly girls, into carrying out sexual acts, harming themselves, or even attempting suicide. At a previous hearing, Finnegan admitted 5 charges, and he has now been given a 6-year sentence with an extended 3-year licence period. Mr. Justice J said he posed a high risk of serious harm to the public. Officers found online chats where he encouraged one young female, believed to be in Italy, to live stream her own suicide. Officers have been unable to identify this woman and do not know what happened to her. In online chats, Finnegan boasted to other members of 764 about his attempts to get children to hurt themselves. Detective Chief Superintendent Claire Finlay, head of counter-terrorism policing South East, says the members competed to see who was the most extreme. If you can get someone to self-harm, you're doing quite well in that group. If you can get them to kill themselves, you're reaching the pinnacle. An 11-page PDF document was also found on Finnegan's computer, giving detailed instructions on how to carry out a mass casualty terrorist attack using a lorry, firearm, or knives. And on the Telegram messaging platform, he and other members plotted what they called Terror Week. He told the group he planned to murder a homeless man living in a tent near his house, and even posted pictures of the location. "I won't stop until he's dead," he wrote online. "This case has been very shocking," said Detective Chief Superintendent Finlay. "Cameron Finnegan was dangerous. There was a threat to public safety there." The 764 network was founded in 2020 by a US teenager, Bradley Cadenhead, who was then 15. It is believed to be named after the partial postal code of his hometown in Texas. Police say it is part of a loose international network of far-right extremist groups that have adopted what officers call militant accelerationist ideology. Those who have researched the groups say they seek to destroy modern civilized society by committing depraved acts of violence and sexual exploitation, often involving children. Cadenhead was arrested in 2021 and is now serving an 80-year prison sentence in Texas for the creation of videos in which children were not only being sexually abused, but also choked, beaten, suffocated, and seriously injured. The network uses Nazi and Satanist imagery. Finnegan, who went by the online username Acid, adorned his bedroom in West Sussex with swastikas and pentagrams. Last year, the FBI released an unprecedented warning about 764, saying it uses threats, blackmail, and manipulation to control the victims into recording or live streaming self-harm, sexual explicit acts, and/or suicide. Now, British police have issued their own warning. "We want to make the public aware of 764, said Detective Chief Superintendent Finlay. "The threat that they pose, not just within the United Kingdom, but globally, is immense." Last year, Vincent Charlton from Gateshead, then 17, was jailed for disseminating terrorist publications, possessing documents useful to a terrorist, and making and possessing indecent images of children. Jenna, not her real name, from Australia, was 15 when she was first targeted by 764. For more than 2 years, she was threatened by members of the group. "It was horrible," says Jenna's mother. "We have suicide manuals that they sent to her." The group also sent Jenna images of child and animal abuse and coerced her into sharing explicit pictures of herself and self-harming on camera. Jenna's mother told us that the group had got her daughter to mutilate herself more and more, deeper, worse. She's covered in scars. Eventually, the abusers ordered Jenna to kill her family's cat, and she refused to comply. They wanted her to do that on live stream, and it all blew up from there. When she refused to do that, I think they realized they were losing control of her, said her mother. Some of Jenna's abusers have now been arrested and are serving prison sentences in the United States. Jenna is still traumatized by her experiences with the group. See this video.
The only risk I was concerned about is that if she went through with it and I got caught,
So you're concerned about, the only thing you're concerned about is if she went through with it and you got caught. Not about whether she was dead or not.
I don't think about stuff in that moment. It's just stupid I say without thinking.
The National Secular Society in the UK has called for an investigation into a Church of England evangelism initiative which aims to recruit children at a non-religious school. The NSS has written to Hampshire County Council raising concerns about an effort by the Anglican Diocese of Portsmouth to install a pioneer youth worker at Park Community School in Havant. The role's purpose is to enable growth in disciples of Christ by number and depth by growing a new worshipping community at the school. The successful applicant will also deliver worship activity within the school day and provide links between the school and the church or congregation. Objectives of the position include converting 60 pupils into worshippers, increasing Sunday attendance at the local St. Francis Church by 50, and holding baptisms and confirmation classes for children. In a letter to the council, the NSS said it was entirely inappropriate for the Church of England to use a non-religious school for evangelism. They said attempting to convert children at school is incompatible with equality and the human rights of children and parents. A spokesperson said the county council has no role in directing the day-to-day activities of schools. The NSS has also written to Schools Minister Catherine McKinnell, raising concerns about Park Community School and seeking effective mechanisms to safeguard the secular and inclusive nature of non-religious schools. The Church of England, which aims to double the number of children and young people who are active Christian disciples by 2030, is spending millions of pounds on activities aimed at converting children to Christianity. Its strategies include using schools to drive this recruitment. The French Catholic Church has formally requested that prosecutors initiate an investigation into Abbé Pierre, a once revered priest and humanitarian icon who died in 2007 following new revelations of sexual violence. Archbishop Eric de Moulin-Beaufort, president of the French Bishops' Conference, announced the move during an interview on radio on Friday. "We must get to the bottom of the truth, uncover any additional victims, accomplices and failures to report these crimes," he said. The allegations against Abbé Pierre surfaced posthumously, significantly tarnishing his legacy years after his death. In July 2024, Emmaus International and the Foundation Abbé Pierre released a report detailing accusations from 7 women, including one who was a minor at the time, alleging sexual assault and harassment by Abbé Pierre between the late 1970s and 2005. Following these initial revelations, a dedicated channel for victims led to 17 additional accusations, with incidents reportedly occurring between the 1950s to the 2000s across various countries, including France, the United States, Morocco, and Switzerland. In the light of the allegations, Moulin-Beaufort, president of the French Bishops' Conference, announced during an interview on radio that the Church has formally requested prosecutors to open an investigation into Abbé Pierre. The Haindava Sankharavam, organised by the right-wing Hindu nationalist organisation Vishwa Hindu Parishad on the 5th of January at Kesaparali in Vijayawada, is likely to have profound implications for Andhra Pradesh politics. The key agenda of the gathering was a demand for autonomy for Hindu temples across India by removing government control through the Endowments Department. The meeting concluded with a 10-point demand focused on reclaiming control over Hindu temples from unauthorized elements and restoring control to practicing Hindus. The event drew an estimated 3 to 4 lakh people, with the venue dominated by saffron flags and attire, making it one of the largest religio-political gatherings in the state's recent history. Andhra Pradesh, historically known for separating religion and politics, may be witnessing a shift in this dynamic. The turnout far exceeded VHP leaders' expectations, who view it as a major success and a sign of religious renaissance. They are convinced that the meeting has laid a solid foundation for their nationwide campaign to awaken Hindus. On Free Thought Hour today, our guest is Gregorio Lopez Corrales, another former Bible teacher who has deconverted. This will be a great chat show. This has been Global Atheist News. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.